Gary Jackson Motors. This is our 1962 Studebaker Gran Turismo Hawk. And I'm going to show you a little up close and personal look at it. We're getting a ton of inquiries, so we decided to make this YouTube video about it. This Gran Turismo is finished in black with silver, and it is one beautiful car. This was a standout car in 1962. The big three, Chrysler, Ford, and GM, crushed Studebaker. They gave them a bad reputation, but anyone that's ever owned a Studebaker before knows that these are one hell of an automobile. This Gran Turismo tracks down the road. It's powered by a 289 Packard V8, and it makes plenty of torque. It's really one great cruising car. Finished in the two-tone, it really gives it a foreign look, but it was made, I believe, in Indiana. If I'm mistaken, comment below on it. This Studebaker's got so much style to it, from the mini fins to the two-tone to the steel grille in the back. Everything about this Studebaker really stands out. This specific car is a solid 8. It's got its flaws. The bumpers aren't perfect. There's no rot at all, but they're not perfect. They're definitely presentable. Taking this thing to a car show and no one's going to say, why is that guy here? They're going to say, oh my God, look at that beautiful Studebaker. Because from 20 feet away, this thing shines like a diamond. And when you open this door, it's when the magic really starts. Look at this red interior. This Studebaker is finished with red leather, and it's got a 4-speed Hurst shifter in it. And that thing just screams performance. The white roof looks very, very nice. It's got a little bit of flaw over on the back. You could probably tuck that right back in. We just haven't taken the time to do it. But the interior of this thing is beautiful. The carpets are nice. They look mostly original. I don't think these carpets were ever replaced. They've got a little seam here. You know, it's got its flaws, but it's 55 years old. I enjoy driving this car more than any Mustang I've ever owned, more than any Camaro I've ever owned. This thing really performs well, and it's a joy to drive. It's got a 4-speed, like I mentioned, but it's got no power steering and no power brakes. So once you get this car moving, it's just raw and feels really good. It makes no weird squeaks. We'll take it for a ride and I'll show you how it performs. We're gonna take this thing for a quick spin. We keep this in our indoor showroom, keep it out of the elements. This car is really enjoyable to drive. Throw it in reverse there for a second, but once you get this thing out on the road, it's an absolute joy. The no power steering and no power brakes really shouldn't scare you. My uncle stopped by, he's almost 80, and he took the thing for a ride yesterday, and he had no problem. He was a little worried about the no power steering, no power brakes, but once he got behind the wheel, he couldn't believe how enjoyable it was to drive. It's got a lot of torque. This 289 Packard motor really gets up and goes. It shifts flawlessly. It tracks down the road beautifully. My hands are off the wheel. We're tracking straight as can be. And all the gauges were replaced. All the gauges work properly. This is a car you can fire up on a Sunday and you can take it for a cruise. And that's exactly what I did yesterday. I took this car over to the Wachusett Reservoir for a nice quick journey in it, and I enjoyed it so much I couldn't believe it. I called all my buddies that were car guys and told them that this Studebaker far outperforms, like I mentioned before, Mustangs with 289s in it. The Packard motor, I don't know what they did, but man, is it strong. A little bit of traffic, it's rush hour here in Worcester. Like I mentioned, everything's kept inside, out of the elements. If you want to schedule an appointment to come see something, we're available all the time. But also, if you want to ship this right to your front door, you can do that. You can call Cindy. If you want to finance, you can send over a credit app. Jordan Dave will get you approved, and we'll send this thing right to your front door. If you get Haggerty Insurance, they'll probably charge you $400 a year to insure this thing. And when you go online, there's not 200 Studebakers for sale like there are Chevelles. There's 200 Mustangs. I believe on Hemmings right now, this is only the 3rd Studebaker. So if you buy this car, you keep it for 10 years, you decide it's not for you, you're gonna put it up for sale and it's gonna sell, because there are people out there looking for Studebakers, so it'll be a very easy car to get off of. I highly recommend coming down and test driving this, but like I said, we'll ship it right to your front door. You don't need to drive it. Take my word, this is one enjoyable car to drive. Thanks for watching, and if you're interested, go on our website or give Cindy a call, and we'll get this thing sent right to your front door.